That's wrong. So on this list, what it represents, though, are three transitions off the team. Our current member at large is Deb Desmond. She has served for many years on our church leadership team in different capacities as our adult ministry coordinator and then as member at large, and she is always the voice of fiscal responsibility at our board meetings. So we are always grateful, Deb, for your long and patient work with our church governing board. We're going to miss you. And also Josh Hornig, who just gave his report, has been a faithful treasurer. Being a treasurer is a challenging job, managing the finances of the church. And you don't get paid for it, and he's done it with excellence. So thank you, Josh, for your hard work. And then the final transition is elder would be Jim Perry. Jim is one of my longest friends at this church. Jim served as an elder at the Fairview Community Alliance Church when I was the pastor there before we restarted it, and has continued to serve in a leadership role here for many, many years. He's going to continue to come to the church, but he said, it's time for me to pause and take a break and a breath. And so, Jim, thank you for your years of faithful service. Jesus is proud of you, and so we're grateful for that. And so the way this works is by the bylaws, all of these terms, other than elder, are one-year terms, and since no other nominations were presented, we can vote as a body to approve treasurer, assistant treasurer, secretary, member at large, and the nominating committees just in one fell swoop. So that's what I'm going to do, just to expedite the process. So I need a motion from someone to approve the nominations for those ministry areas. We've got a motion back there by Jim Gorham. We've got Luke as a second. Any questions on that motion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? So carried. Elder nominations are 3-year terms. They cannot be voted on like we just did. They have to be done by ballot. And so that's my dad. If you are a member, if you raised your hand earlier, raise your hand again. We're going to hand out a piece of paper. It's just very simple. It has Chad's name on it. He's made buttons and pins that say vote for Chad. No, he didn't really. And you just need to either mark yes or no on that ballot, and then when it's filled out, we'll collect them again shortly. In fact, you know what? What I'll do is I'll have Jared give his ministry report, and then we'll pause and we'll collect the ballots and then move on from there. So, with that being said, Jared, where are you, buddy? There he comes. Jared is our coffee shop manager. He's also one of my longest and dearest friends. He helped, 11 years ago we went to coffee school together, and we're still in coffee school.
I get to hold on to this. I'm going to put this back up.
Josh, do you have anything to wipe this off with so that I don't get your tongue clipped?
Yeah. So if you don't know me, I'm the coffee shop guy. I'm only here normally until about noon every day, so if I don't see you, I apologize. So yeah, we started this about 11 years ago, 12 years ago, when Josh had different ideas for what a church should look like, and from here it looks pretty good. You guys are great and faithful, and a lot of, it's nice having a coffee shop because this is something that I've always wanted, and I didn't have to put any money into it, which is even better. Because I'm not really great with money. If Josh Hornig makes the church finances look pretty, it's not what I do. So Josh has been gracious enough, and the elder board has been gracious enough to let me manage the shop, but give the money to like accountants and people that know what they're doing so that I don't mess things up. That's all I really have. So one of the, again, if we go back to those 11 years, one of the big, huge things that I guess is big for me is like I have a really hard time making decisions too, and a lot of that is because of money, and a lot of that is just because second guessing myself and things. So it was nice 11 years ago when somebody could come along and say, hey, let's do this, and I'm a great idea guy, and he's the money guy, and and doing all that stuff. So so we're doing pretty well. Yes, we're here.
I don't know what happened here. Do you know what happened here?
We didn't sell as much stuff.
We didn't sell much stuff. I think that's when somebody was taking the money out of the drawer that Josh Horning was talking about. And then we just like scooched the whole way up to here. I got a text from Josh a couple weeks ago. He said, we made this money. I said, what does that mean? He said, we're doing really well. And one of the things that is really good about it, we have a little more cushion as far as if something breaks, we can fix it now. If we need to buy more stuff for the roaster, we can do that now. And that's kind of, we did a good job with the money that we made. This is just sales, but we did a good job with the money that we made last year. And we would have made more if we just didn't have to put all this other money into different things that keep breaking or trying new things. We got these really fantastic new coffee pots this last week because the old ones are breaking all the time, and I think they lasted 2 days before they started breaking. So the new ones. So anyhow, within the last year, I'm going to ramble on for a while because people are like really like on the fence about this Chad Long thing. So they're thinking really hard about it. So a year ago, summer of 2018, I had some people from the SBDC come and the Downtown Lock Haven group, and they did like this survey, and they asked us all these fancy questions like, how long have you been in business? How many people do you employ? What are some things you would like to see in Lock Haven? And we answered all these questions, and they said, well, we're working with this group out of Williamsport called the Covation Center. And the Covation Center is like, it's like a co-working thing. People can go into this office, and if they don't have internet at their house or they need a place to like have meetings, they can go there. And so they had these meetings last year in October and November, and it was again really stressful for me because they're just giving me all this information. I can't handle it, and I'm breaking down in the middle of these classes. And if you want to know the severity of my angst as far as making decisions comes, back when Dave was manager, we went to this trade show, and Dave really wanted to get this tea, and we already had a line of tea, and I kind of just like sat there in the middle of the trade floor and like rocked around for a while. So one of the things that we talked about, it's very true. You can ask him. But one of the things we talked about at these meetings was finances, and I'm just not good at it. I see the money in, and I can be very personable with people, and I know everybody's coffee order from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m., and that's, I think that's kind of what makes me effective, but money does not. So one afternoon, the money guy came in and said, okay, well, what do you want to do? I said, well, we've been talking for a long time about getting a coffee roaster. He said, okay, well, here's your bottom line. This is the money that you're making right now. If you want a coffee roaster, it's going to take you 10 years at the prices that you have now, right? So I said, okay, that makes a lot of sense. But if you tweak those numbers a little bit and raise your prices, you'll get a coffee roaster in 5 years. And he said, oh, well, that's okay. That's doable, right? But I still had a hard time making that decision. So the first of 2019, we raised our prices. And I don't know if that has a lot to do with it, but that's great. So what happened in the summer, the people from Williamsport, the Covation Center, said, listen, we have this program called Kiva, and if anybody knows, in the summer we just went crazy, and we decided to, we had somebody give us the coffee roaster cost about $25,000. We had somebody give us 10 grand to kind of like a startup thing, and we raised money through this Kiva thing, and it's a fundraising campaign, with the exception of you can put your money into this, you really donate it, because you get like certain amount of money every month back for your donation. So after these 3 years, you get paid back, we pay back the loan, and everything's great. So we've had a coffee roaster since September, and that's gone really well. Josh doesn't have to go the whole way down to Williamsport anymore. We've got Jeremy roasting a little bit, and Lloyd, who works here, is roasting a little bit. I can't because my brain can't wrap around numbers. But it's going really well. We've had the best Christmas I've ever seen. We're out of our Ethiopian, and we've only had our Ethiopian here for a month or two. So we have like one bag left of that to sell. Two bags left of that to sell. So if you want some really good coffee, that's where you should go. Other than that, as far as the future goes, we're working with Nick over at the Broken Axe. We have our cold brew coffee over there on Nitro, and I had it for the first time last night, and that's fantastic. I've never experienced something like that. So Nick is also going to bring a tap over here, so we're going to have cold brew hopefully on Nitro here within the next month or two. We've got kombucha, and we really want to like figure out a way to like make this bar work better. We're just not sure what we're going to do and what we're going to be able to do. Also, we could use some coffee ambassadors. I know that you're not all from Lock Haven, obviously. But if there's any like coffee shops you frequent at home that are like, oh, this is pretty good, I wonder if they would like to try out Avenue Coffee, let us know. We can get you some small bags and you can take that back with you. If there's anything that you can be praying about, just be praying about my ability to make decisions here in the shop and do all that kind of thing. You guys are great. Thanks.
Never get more nervous than when Jared gives a report. College ministry, Tim and Kate, can come on up and talk.
Hi. Kate is beautiful and pregnant, so listen to the beautiful pregnant lady.
Thanks, Tim. Yeah, so we are Tim and Kate Jackson. As Pastor Josh mentioned, we're the college ministers here for 1 year until Joe and Holly are able to come this coming June. So essentially, our heart for the college ministry kind of has two parts. First off, we want to give our students plenty of opportunities to just interact with their Christian peers and realize they aren't the only ones on campus trying to live for Jesus. We strive to give them opportunities to bond as students and really build one another up and sharpen one another like iron sharpens iron. At the same time, we want to give them plenty of opportunities to interact with you all and have their lives impacted by relationships built with believers who are older than them, who can show them what a strong marriage really looks like, what a strong family really looks like, or just what a really strong relationship with Christ really looks like. Both of our lives were really, really impacted by families of the church that we really got involved with when we were in college, and we want our students to experience that as well. So consequently, we really encourage our students to get involved with all the regular aspects of Commonplace, to come on Sunday mornings and get to know the families here, to be a greeter, to join a triad, to help out with the youth ministry or the children's ministry, to get in one-on-one discipleship, to come to all the different events. And there are students serving in so many of those areas and being discipled in all of those ways, and we're so excited about what God's doing in these students' lives as they experience what it is to really be a part of the bride of Christ and love her and serve her. And we trust that what they're learning here from Pastor Josh and all of you, they'll take when they graduate into whatever church they become a part of. We really believe that so many churches around Pennsylvania and America in general are going to be really blessed by the students that you all form here at Commonplace during their 4 years. We also have weekly student Bible studies that are really focused specifically on what college students are going through right now during this stage in their lives. So we have dinner together every Thursday night and dig into God's Word and just have lots of discussion about what the students are going through and how the Bible applies to their lives, and just giving them the chance to talk about the issues that they're going through, and once again, just be reminded that they aren't alone as they seek God on their college campus. We also have lots of random events throughout the year, like progressive dinners, where they come into your homes and eat all of your food, lots of game nights. We went to the corn maze, as this picture shows. We're going to Chaos Fun Zone in 2 weeks. Some of the bigger things we're doing this semester are taking students to Jubilee in February, huge conference in Pittsburgh, and have a spring retreat in April, and really just all of these events are centered around our students growing closer to one another, building one another up, growing closer to you all, getting closer to the church, and most importantly, getting closer to Christ.
Awesome. So I just wanted to just kind of give you, the first thing I want to say is from Kate and I, we've been here for just a few months working with the church, but this place in general, the love we've received from this family is huge. I don't want to miss a chance. Anytime I get to talk on a microphone to you people, I want you to know you have given us a home, not only in Lock Haven, but in Pennsylvania, and as a church, that's something I can't pay back. And we can't pay back. I don't have words for the love we've experienced, and you make me believe in the church in a big way. So thank you for that. I want to say that first of all. Because of that, because this is a unique place, and the Common Place is a unique congregation that has a heart for people that honestly can't give a whole lot back to you. Not monetarily, not going to be here for a long time, only going to be here for a few years. The way you love college students is huge. We love being a part of that. So we want to build into this ministry and push it forward and go in the right direction and continue, like Josh said, like Kate said, build this intergenerational church that is going to change eternity for people, which is really, really huge, and we love doing that. There's a few things you can be looking forward to in the next few months. We did a progressive dinner last semester, and we love that. Our students love that, and we love having them come over to your house and eat your food because they eat enough of our food. So we want to share that with you guys and enjoy that. We really do love the moments where they get to see what does faithful believing look like in your home, in your life. So we're going to do that again in the springtime here in a few weeks probably. And we also want to do we're going to probably do another chili cook-off or pie bake-off, I don't know. Something in the back again where you get to hang out and eat delicious food that they made and that you made and compete for that kind of time. We love having these moments where the church just is together. And so we want to build some more of those for the rest of the semester. So be looking out for those. Those are really practical ways you can be involved with the college ministry. But then also, on Sunday mornings, try and make an effort to introduce yourself to a college student when they show up. Like, that's a big thing. If you remember someone's name when they come in the door and they say, hey, how are you doing, blah, 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 that is a big deal to them. That really gives them a place to feel home, and that can go a long way to building a relationship. So we love being the people that get to do this ministry, but this church is the one that's responsible for the college ministry, and so we want to help you guys do that. And so that's just one thing you can do every single week and today to show these students you belong here, you belong to the church. So that's all I want to say. Thank you guys so much for the love you've shown us again and again and again.
And now the lovely Lydia is going to come up and share about her 4 years in this college ministry.
Hello, so as Kate said, I am Lydia. I've been part of the college ministry the past 4 years, so now I'm a senior. Sadly, this is coming to an end real quickly. I'm just going to share just a little snapshot of those 4 years, which is kind of hard in like 2 minutes, but I can definitely say the ministry has changed my life for the better. I've learned how to be a leader while being here. I have currently taken up the position of president the past year, which has been amazing. I've learned how to bring Jesus to people's lives in different ways, especially in a community sense. One of the examples is caroling at the nursing home, and we made cards from our ministry with the youth group, which was such a unique experience, and I love to do it. It has brought me multiple opportunities that I never thought I would be a part of, just like Jubilee. I am going for the second time this year, which is amazing, and again, that's a whole nother experience that would take the entire church service to explain, and then it still wouldn't do justice. And then it's just changed my life to connect with God in a closer, more in-depth way. I've made beautiful friendships and relationships out of this ministry, and I just hope to pass that torch down to other college students that are willing to be a part of it. And if you ever get a chance as a college student to be a part of it, it's something you won't regret, and you're gonna grow in yourself and with Christ, and you get to grow with others in that process. So I definitely am so thankful that I had this opportunity, that they took me in with warm arms and open hearts, and has shown me nothing but love.
Morning, everyone.
How's everybody doing?
Good.
Hanging in there?
Cool. So I am Luke. I'm
I'm a youth leader. I don't like to call myself the youth leader or like the youth pastor or whatever like that because I don't think that would be very fair to my other youth leaders that help me out. And so I guess I'm the youth leader in charge, but I think everybody on our team does an equal amount of work. It really helps out, and this youth ministry really couldn't happen without them, without people like Anna, Tom, Sarah, Carrie, and then especially Josh. Josh is my go-to guy. He helps me out a lot, and we really wouldn't be able to run this youth group without him. So thanks, buddy. But so we've completed our first full year of youth group, and so we're into our second year. We've done a lot of cool things, and I just want to say thank you for all the support that this church has given. Because what you guys do as a church by supporting us as a youth group is you provide opportunities for these kids. You provide opportunities for them to learn, opportunities for them to go do things. But most importantly, you provide them an opportunity for fellowship with people who love Jesus. And that's what's really important, I think, about youth group. Whenever I was in youth group, what I remember the most are the friendships that I made with the people that were there with me, loving Jesus with me. And by doing that, you're setting these kids up for an amazing life with Jesus. So thank you for that. And also thanks to the parents. You guys are the best youth group parents we could have. You guys support us so much and help us out in every way that you possibly can. So this past year, we've recently finished up a series called Grown Up Faith, which has been, the name is confusing to a couple of our kids because they think it means like the faith of a grown-up person. That's not what it means. It means a mature faith in Jesus. So not necessarily the faith of an adult, because I think we all can agree we don't always have grown-up faith. But it's the faith of someone who's getting closer to Jesus. And we've talked about a lot of different things. The kids have really liked that series. And we just finished that up. So we're going to be getting into some new stuff soon. And we never run out of stuff to talk about, because when we do, they just start asking questions. And crazy questions. And we got to do our very best to answer those questions. They challenge us a lot. But we've also gone to a couple of youth conferences, conventions. We go to Celebration in Lycoming in the fall, which has been an awesome time. In the summer, we've gone to Sylvan Hills Christian Service Camp, and we took a good group of kids out there this summer. We had an awesome time. And in the spring, we go to a retreat with all the other youth groups in the Christian Missionary Alliance, and that has been an awesome experience for us. The last spring retreat we were at, all the kids that went with us in some way gave their heart to Jesus, which was amazing. So we have the opportunity to go to that retreat again, and I'll talk about that in a bit. But so what you guys have done has really sparked a curiosity in our kids, in that curiosity for Jesus and what that looks like to live life with Jesus and who Jesus is. And it's just been amazing to walk with them in that. And so I thank you guys for allowing me to do that, allowing me the opportunity to spend time with our kids. As we move forward, please keep praying for us. Your prayers do so much for us, and we thank you so much for that. And you can also come and support us in March. We are going to have our second annual music fundraiser eating spectacle for the kids, which is just our fundraiser to help our kids out with the cost of going to their spring retreat. So if you want to come out, listen to some good music, and watch Josh and Gage eat a lot of food, come on in. And if you want to help us out a little bit, that'd be great. But again, thank you so much for the way you guys support this youth group, because in supporting the youth group, you're not supporting the future generation of the church, because I believe that the youth right now is the church. And if you look around, you're not going to see too many of our youth group kids, and that's because they're helping out in some way in the church. We have kids that help out with the slides. They help out with communion. They've helped out with our children's ministry and our preschool ministry and that. So you are already providing opportunities for them to serve, which is amazing. Thank you.
All right. So I'm going to talk to you just briefly about children's ministry. All that noise upstairs, wonderful. So our numbers up there have super grown. So in 2016, we had 12.10 kids. 2017, 18.4 on average each Sunday. 2018, it went up to 20.74. 2019, it was 22.96. And last Sunday, we had like 35 kids up there. Yeah, how awesome is that? But needless to say, with those increase in numbers, we need extra bodies to help manage all those kiddos. Teaching Sunday school and being a helper is super simple. Right now, we alternate lead teachers, take 2 Sundays a month so that there's consistency between who's leading the class. And then we have a plethora of helpers that cycle through. So if you're not real confident in being a teacher, please stop, but you feel it on your heart, yeah, this is something I can help with. We will take helpers. It's sometimes we have kiddos even that just need a little one-on-one, a special touch to help them stay focused and settled in, and so extra hands are awesome for that. And they're so much fun. They are so cotton picking sweet. You gotta love them. They're so sweet. As was mentioned earlier, they've been raising money, so they're learning to be givers, which is pretty cool. This is just a quick, I'm going to pass this around. This and this give you a little bit of an idea of what the Sunday school lessons look like and how super simple it is. So our Sunday school lessons are all online. You get the password, the username and password, you go online, and you just click the buttons, and it gives you the handouts. It tells you any materials that you might need. If you don't have the materials, check the alternate activity, because that often doesn't require any materials. And it is so super simple to teach. Super, super simple. So take a peek at that, you'll see. Super, super simple. And invitation check. I'm making sure I checked off everything the teachers wanted me to say. Last but not least, I want to give a quick plug for the Right Now Media, because we use that upstairs and we use it in our Bible studies, and many of you use it for your small groups. And parents, I want to encourage you to use it at home with your children. There are those really cute, really neat family devos, 5-minute family devo. It's a short video, and then it has a couple discussion questions. So the Right Now Media is an awesome resource. If you're a little bit techno-savvy, the TV is hooked up to a Roku, so you can do your Sunday school songs on that, et cetera, et cetera. So, Sunday school. If you're interested in the children's ministry, we have the nursery, we have the preschoolers, and we have the school-age kiddos. So we will take help. Thank you.
So just another note about Right Now Media. It's like a Netflix for Bible studies, and we have a subscription as a church. Any of you can have access to that. Just simply let myself or Deb know. We'll get you a code for that as well. You have been so good. We have one report left. Can you make it? I believe you can. All right. So this one is our church planting report, and then we will eat lunch together. That'll be fun. If we get a motion passed for that. And so I'm gonna, Chad, come on up here. Oh, by the way, you were elected. Congratulations. We'll just on November 24th, many of you came to our informational meeting that we held, and we were talking about, we called it testing the soil. We have been on a journey to try to figure out what Jesus wants us to do about our growth, all right? And we've tried to buy buildings, we've tried to move, we've tried all number of things, and at every turn it seems like it's a no, no, no. Finally, as a body, we said maybe we're asking the wrong questions. Maybe what we need to do is to multiply, continue, like church in a coffee shop is very meaningful, continues to be a great place to do church. There's something beautiful about this. Maybe we shouldn't stop doing this. Maybe we should keep doing this and multiply into a second location. But that's a big thing. It requires another pastor. It requires all kinds of things. And so we just wanted to say, let's test the soil and see what the general attitude of the church about this is. We didn't have we're honest, we didn't have a real clear plan, But we were okay with that because really we didn't want to put the energy into developing a real structured plan if the general attitude was, no, we don't think this is what God wants us to do. And so we wanted to see what the God's Spirit was saying to our church. One of the questions on the sheet we handed out was, the opening question was, what do you think God's Spirit is saying to us right now, even before we presented any ideas? And as I read through those responses, you were so good in filling them out. I thank you. I think there were like 50 or 60, 55 responses. Just a couple things that became clear to me that I think there's wisdom in that, and I just wanted to give you might have said these, some of you out here right now, but these were a couple highlights that stood out to me. Someone said, creativity, inventiveness, and a clear plan will be key to this being fruitful. I think there's wisdom in that. Another person said, not having all of the answers is okay. Trusting and being faithful will make a way. And that rhymes, so I like that one too. The next one was, Jesus lives in the uncomfortable places. It's going to be uncomfortable, but Jesus is there. That's simple, but so true, all right? Another person said, it's time to serve the community. So show Jesus' love to the lost and hurting, step out of our comfort zone. And then finally, trust God. He knows what's best for the community. God is going to be, this is going to be different than what you've been part of before. Find a new place in a new move of God's love for this town. So again, what we wanted to discern was like red light, yellow light, green light. What is the Spirit saying? Like, is this no, don't go forward? And we got a very clear green light. There were lots of responses that said, like, okay, I'm okay with this, but we need to figure out a plan because it's kind of ambiguous, and we recognize that as well. So I think overall, one of the questions was, if we were to start this, what would be an appropriate timeline? 2020, 2021, or beyond? And 85% of the respondents said that they thought that we're in favor of starting by 2021. 68 of them said even like this year as possible. So in case you're at board meeting, someone's like 85 plus 68 don't add up to 100. We're just making numbers up. No. In other words, that 68 was rolled into the 85. So 68 said, we should probably start this in 2020, and then some said, let's pause, do a little better planning and research, and then pursue it that way. So that's kind of my pastoral overview of this. I'm going to hand it off to Chad now to explain a little bit more clearly what this would look like for our church moving forward.
Thank you very much, Josh. Today I want to share with you a little bit about Common Places 2021, which is our action plan to reach the overlooked in our community through planting a satellite location of Common Place Church. So I want to walk you through a little bit of the action plan that we have prayerfully and carefully developed as a church planting team and under the advisement of the assistant district superintendent who also acts as a church planting advisor. And so I want to give one prevailing caveat as I share today. Common Place Church is not our church. It is Jesus' church. And we believe that Jesus has led us to this point together as a faith family. And we want to make sure that we are following Him and not asking Him to follow us. And so with that being said, this is the plan through which we hope and desire and further discern what He has in store for us. Beginning now and moving through May, we are going to be in a praying and listening and research phase in preparation for our next big step coming this summer. In this time, we're going to be asking questions like who and when and where and how of a satellite location. During these months,